In this video, we're going to be talking about the crash that's coming to new construction real estate. We're going to talk about what's happening with prices, where things are going to go with interest rates, and what we expect to see in the market. We're going to be taking a look at a couple different builders, as well as some data points that I think will be very helpful for you if you're considering jumping into this market. Now, the thing that I do know about this market, there's a lot of uncertainty, there's a lot of volatility, and it really makes it difficult to know exactly what to do. Everybody's situation is going to be slightly different, and that's why you really have to take all of this data into account throughout this process and then make the best decision for yourself and your family on whether you should buy, whether you should hold out. Maybe you're looking to sell a property, whatever that means for you. You kind of have to come together, gather all this data and put it together to make that decision. Now, with that being said, if you are thinking about buying or selling real estate here in Utah, I'd love to be your trusted real estate resource of choice. My name is Cody Steck. I'm your favorite Utah realtor. My information is here on the screen. Call, text, or email anytime. I've helped hundreds of people relocate here to Utah, and hundreds more who live here locally do the exact same thing. And I'd love to hear from you. So reach out anytime, call, text, or email. Can't wait to hear from you. So with that being said, let's go ahead and jump into my screen here and take a look at this information. So this is an email that I just received from Lennar Homes. This came in 4 days ago. I'm filming this here on March 21st. This email came through on March 17th, right? And it says your client can receive up to $20,000 towards closing costs. If you go with Lennar Mortgage, their in-house mortgage company, and close on a home by June 30th, you can get a $20,000 credit towards your closing costs. That's a pretty substantial credit and definitely a deal that you can't pass up. Now, looking at the different homes that they have available, these are homes that are going to be finished or very close to finished that they've now listed on the market available for sale. So if you go and visit one of their sales agents at the property, you might hear something like, hey, we don't have a ton of availability right now. Everything is selling. Everything is flying off the shelves. You're going to have to wait 3 to 6 months to really get into something. I can't give you pricing right now. Honestly, that's not entirely the full story. Us as real estate agents here in this market get emails like this every single day from different builders who are advertising the price drops, advertising what inventory they have and what's coming available. I'm going to show you another builder here in just a second, showing you just how much inventory they have. When the number of emails upticks and we start seeing these emails come through daily, that means that these homes are not selling, and the management teams of these companies are saying, hey, look, sales agents, you need to step it up. You need to start sending these emails and get these properties sold. So what this looks like here today is you can see that these prices have dropped substantially. Most of these homes are going to be finished either in March, April, or May, and then a couple down here in June. But they are dropping prices on these homes in anticipation that they expect prices to drop further. This gives me a very good sense of what's happening in the market, because let's be honest, I sell quite a few homes every single year, but I'm not a major national publicly traded company like Lennar Homes, right? These guys sell homes all across the country. They do tons of loans. They have a multi-billion-dollar company that they're running here, so they have a pretty good sense of what's going on in the market. If I scroll in here and take a look at this information a little bit clearer, let's actually go ahead and zoom in so we can get this bigger. So if I take a look at this information here, the fact that they're dropping prices on homes that will not be done until June is a very good indication that either one, demand is extremely low, or number two, they expect prices to drop even further and they're trying to lock people in before that happens. So that's what this information here is telling me. Let's go back up here to the top and take a look at this information. So this is in Spanish Fork, a city in the southern part of Utah County. They had 3 homes here that were listed at $460,000, $429,000, and $470,000, and each of these have dropped to $430,000, $410,000, and $430,000 respectively, right? So this one here dropped over $30,000. This one dropped $20,000, and this one dropped, $40,000, right? From $470,000 to $430,000. So if you look at this information, it's really interesting that this home is not even finished yet they're trying to sell this home. They want somebody to lock in on it at these prices, right? So they're saying, hey, originally this was the price. We're now selling it at a much lower price. Please come lock in on this home, right? This one's another great example here in Saratoga Springs. Primrose, a very popular community. I've sold a number of homes in there. They had one here at $580,000, dropped down to $560,000. So $20,000 price drop here, and then a $30,000 price drop here on this Denali floor plan that will be finished in May. So I think, again, they're expecting home prices to drop even further. You can see that this continues all the way down the list for all of these different homes. From here, $470,000 to $435,000, that's a $35,000 price drop. Again, down here in West Valley, we're seeing even bigger price drops, which is very interesting because, $700,000, $600,000 for West Valley is very expensive. That is well above the median home value for this area. But take a look at these price drops. $20,000 price drop here, $40,000 there. Let's see, we got another $20,000 there, and then another $30,000 or so here for homes that are not even finished. So again, the fact that they're dropping prices gives you indication of what they expect to happen with prices going into the next couple months. This is also reflective in the interest rates that we're seeing in the market. We saw interest rates actually tick down from about December through January. Then they went back up in February. And now in March, they're actually starting to tick down. We've got another indication of what's going to happen with interest rates tomorrow. There's another Fed meeting, and they're going to be releasing information about whether or not they're increasing interest rates. And that's going to have a drastic impact on the market. So if you're in the market looking for homes, you really have to be paying close attention to this. If you don't have the time or the means to do that, then make sure you've got somebody on your side who can do it for you. Now, with that being said, let's go ahead and jump into one of the other builders, take a look at that, and then also show you some data points directly from the MLS on what's happening with inventory in this market. Taking a look at this other email, this is one that I got from Edge Homes just very recently. It says, hey, we just had a sales meeting today and Edge is dropping prices on new builds a ton. We're talking hundreds of thousands since the peak. I want you to have the updated price. If you have anybody interested, let me know. You can build new single family homes for under $500,000. These are the different prices that we're seeing. We're seeing these condos sell for between, let's say $320. There's one here at $310, all the way up to about $330, $346 here at the high end. These are, pretty big drastic change from what we saw back in the peak. About a year ago, you would have been paying $400,000 for one of these condos. These townhomes here were selling for $500,000 just 9 to 12 months ago. Looking at their single family pricing, a lot of these homes have come down substantially. We saw over $100,000 in price drops on every single one of these floor plans and every single one of these communities over the past 6 to 12 months. So it's pretty crazy to see what's happening with the builders, what they're expecting in the market, and how quickly they're trying to adjust their pricing to get ahead of what's happening out there in the market. Now let's jump over here and take a look at some different statistical data that I pulled up. So this is going to be your daily snapshot report. And what this is really important is to give you an idea of what's happening with the inventory in our market. So this is the daily snapshot. This is active listings, right? So these are homes that are actively available for sale. They may have received offers, but they haven't accepted any offers and gone under contract. So what we want to look at here is actually this blue line. It shows you the previous year, what we were looking at. You can see just how low inventory was for the entire beginning point of the year in 2022, right? This is from January 1st to March 21st. So I'm pulling up basically from the beginning of this year. You can see inventory hovered around 2,000 active listings, and we're up almost 4x since that time here in 2023. At the beginning of the year, we were sitting just under 8,000 listings. We've slowly been coming down. You've been hearing reports, hey, inventory's up. It's up 15%. It's up 50%. It's up 100%. In this case, it's up 400%. Yeah, that's true if you look year over year, but we're actually still down pretty substantially from where we were pre-COVID. Generally speaking, the market, the listings that we see actively on the market are going to be around 10 to 12,000. So we're still a little bit lower than what we normally would be, if we go back 3, 4, 5 years. So you can see that we've actually dropped here to, on March 20th, down to 6,603 active listings. Now that's just part of the picture. Let's actually take a look at this here as well. These two graphs right here, and sorry, I got to make it a little bit smaller, but we have backup and then we have under contract. For the purpose of this video, those two things are exactly the same. It basically is just a different classification system that we use within our MLS system. I really wish they would have just used one option to just make it easier because it's a little bit confusing, but here we are, they're using two. So you've got backup and you've got under contract. So if we actually take a look, I just want to zoom in here at under contract because this is going to give us a better sense, to be just totally frank. So the number of under contract homes, we're looking at this blue line. So in this one, the number of under contract homes is substantially lower than where it was last year, right? If we actually take these two things together, active listings this time last year, we're sitting at about 2,000, and the number of under contract homes was anywhere from, let's say, 6,000 to 7,500. So that gives you a total amount of listings from about 8 to 10,000. Again, I'm just rounding with rough numbers here. If we take the numbers that we're seeing for this year, active listings sitting between 7 and 8,000, and then combine it with how many are under contract, we're actually sitting at a higher number of home sales that are pending, right? Or at least actively trying to be sold. So the number of under contract homes here has risen since the beginning of the year, which indicates to me more people are jumping back into the market. Demand is there. People are wanting to buy homes. They're taking advantage of this little dip in interest rates that we're seeing. We've seen a new normal where prices are starting to come down. We've seen interest rates. People are adjusting to those. Yes, they are 6.5%, 7%, but people are getting adjusted to that. They're hopeful that interest rates will come down in the future, and therefore they're jumping into the market. This could also just be a situation where perhaps buying a home actually makes sense for them. I've got a number of clients who are in that exact situation right now. Yes, they would love for things to be a little bit more affordable, but it's just a time in their life where making a purchase makes sense for them. If you want to find out if that's the situation for yourself, or maybe you should hold off, reach out to me. Call, text, or email anytime. My information is here on the screen. I'm happy to give you a totally honest, transparent opinion, even if it means that I'm not getting your business. I will just tell you how it is and just say, hey, maybe this isn't the right decision for you. But the only way to know for sure if that's going to happen is if you actually contact me and we can get in touch and discuss your personal situation. So call, text, or email. I have people from all across the world reach out, and I cannot wait to hear from you as well. Now, with that said, let's actually jump back in my screen here and take a look at what's happening with sales prices for new construction units. We're going to be looking at this data here on my screen, and this is going to be for homes that have been finished in the year 2023, right? So we want to see homes that are finishing right now. So some of these, these outliers here in 2022, you can just go ahead and ignore that. Basically, those are homes that people put on the market back at that time, and then they were going to finish the home here in 2023. That's why you're still seeing a couple of sales back here. For the purpose of this video, we're looking at these 3 months right here. So we're starting to see the number of new construction homes start to increase, how many are selling, but take a look at these prices, right? This right here, this column right here is your actual median sales price. So we started off the year at 630,000. We're down to 600,000. Now for the month of March, so far, we're at 499,000. This means that there's people who are buying cheaper homes, which is driving that median sales price down. And we're also seeing builders drop prices on homes that is further driving that number down. So it's not only just price drops that are happening, but it's also more homes at lower price points that are selling as opposed to just these higher end homes. So that's where we're seeing this difference come for the median sales price. You can see this ratio right here. 95%. This means that most homes that are selling on the market are selling for roughly 5% below what they were originally listed for sale at. So if you're going out there, you're seeing homes, you might want to try to negotiate on them a little bit. That's something I can help you with, assuming that we're working together, and something that you should definitely push for if you're looking at purchasing in this market. Days on market is still relatively low. We're only at 19. So this doesn't give you a true representation of what's happening in the market. Generally, new construction sells a little bit quicker than existing homes. So that's something you have to keep in mind. But guys, we talked about a lot here. If you're interested in this type of content, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Reach out to me. I'd love to talk about your individual situation. Call, text, or email anytime. I love hearing from you guys who watch my videos. And with all that being said, don't forget to subscribe to the channel before you go, and we'll catch you in the next one.